Hello, in this tutorial, I'll show you how to use slicer and charts in Google Sheets. There's a step-by-step guide on how to use sheets and charts in Google Sheets. The first thing to do is to prepare your data. So organize your data, ensure your data is well organized in rows and columns, which I have here. So each column should have a header, and this is literally my header in here. So select your data, highlight the range of cells that you want to include in your chart. Then let's say I want this. So I'm just going to highlight them by control. All right, so select the range of cells that you want to include in your chart. I also want to include this one. Okay. So I'm highlighting this, and I'm highlighting the class as well. Literally highlighting everything. And position. So once you're done highlighting, the next thing to do is to click on Insert menu at the top of the screen. Then click on Chart from the drop-down menu. So Google Sheets will automatically create a chart based on your data. So that's it. Add a series to start visualizing it. Okay, so that's it. So the next thing to do is to adjust. So head over to the chart editor, right, which is at the right side of the screen, and set up your tab. So adjust chart type. So do you want a column chart, or let's say I want the line chart? Then head over to the data range. So this is it, B1, B5, A1, A5, C1, C5. That's it. Then combine ranges. You can also customize the tab. So combine ranges horizontally. Then your x-axis, this is it, B1, B5, your label, and just reposition everything. Then add your series, so you can also switch rows and columns. Use row 1 as header, use column B as labels. So you can just choose that. And okay, I'm just heading over here, and I'm good to go. So once I just click that, you see that this has been added. So this is a class, chart, and position. So I can use this column, switch rows, I'm going back to my edit panel. So data, insert chart. Should I copy it? So I'm going to select my data range from A1 to C5. On row required, okay, to A5. Okay, so all right. Okay, so here you go. So this is for chart type, I had to use count of class, or you can use this count of class. That's a pie chart, or you can use a column chart just however you want to get that done. And you see that the chart has been successfully displayed. Now the next thing to do is to adjust. You can adjust by dragging the chart to reposition the chart. So you can drag it to reposition it to however you want it to be. So I have mine here. I have other charts here that I just need to delete. They're quite a lot. So I have this one here, and this is the one that I have chosen. So you can change your range of data. That's your change range data. So if you want to update the range data after creating the chart, click on the chart, then click on the 3 vertical dots, all right, and click on more options. We have more options in there, and select edit chart. This is edit chart, and then in the setup tab you can modify the data range from here. So the data range is B1 to B5, and that's like the count of class. So you can actually change this to whatever you want it to be. So you can now prepare your data for filtering. Ensure your data is in the table, which is here. Then slicers work best with structured data. So ensure your data is organized in tabular formats with headers. Then select the data range. That's for you to insert a slicer. Highlight the range of cells you want to filter with the slicer. Okay. So let's highlight the range of cells that I want to filter. So this is it. So let's say the name and the class. Then the next thing that you like to do is to click on data menu at the top of the screen. Then you need to go ahead and click on add a slicer, which is here. So it's working. So you see, a slicer will be added to your sheet. This is a slicer. Now a slicer panel will appear on the right corner of the screen, which is here. This is a slicer. So verify or adjust the data range if needed. You can also choose the column you want to filter by. So for example, if you have a column for category, or I have a column for class, you can filter by different categories. So you can choose a column. So we have this class, we have this position. You can filter by class. So you can see that slicer have that class in there. So use the slicer to select different values to filter your data. The data in your charts are and tables will update based on the selected filters. You can also resize and reposition the slicer by clicking and dragging its edges. Then click on the slicer and use the drop down to select different filter options or to clear the filter. So you can click on clear. So you can filter by condition, filter by values, or you can even clear the filters that are there. So let's say I want to adjust my slicer and just stick it over here. So that's actually a cut out of it. So if you have a chart and slicer on the same sheet, the slicer will automatically filter the data displayed in the chart, which is here. So you can add multiple slicers to filter data by different criteria, and each slicer can control different aspects of your data. Now, charts and tables linked to slicers will dynamically update based on the filter selections. Use slicers to control multiple charts on the same sheet, ensuring that all charts are filtered according to the selected criteria. So by following the steps, you can effectively use charts and slicers in Google Sheets to visualize and interact with your data. Now, I can go over this tutorial from top to bottom to get acquainted with the steps. And of course, once you're done, you'll be good to go. I hope this tutorial marvelously helped you search.